Let's go under the car again and replace all of those rubber seals.
Okay, so this part you want to go really slow and really carefully. You want to keep your new sleeves in their plastic, excuse me, in their plastic wrapper for as long as you can. So you don't want to get anything dirty here, and you want to go real slow, one by one. There's gonna be 2 short little sleeves, and 1 medium and 1 long. Okay, and then there's that guy down there. Okay, and so note the orientation and go 1 by 1. Then you need a small screwdriver like this, and then very carefully pry these guys out. Yeah, slowly coming out. I wonder if I could do this with my little pliers, because this thing is really stuck in there. It's not coming out, and it's starting to get all gummy and disintegrating. Oh man, you're coming out. I got you by hand now. Okay, so that's 1 out. Notice the orientation. I'm going real slow, and now we got to figure out which one it is. It's plastic. This thing is plastic and it's crumbly. Is it this one? Okay, so we're gonna hold it up and match it up. It is this one. Okay, so yeah, I can feel this one is way softer, way nicer. You know, I got the original ZF. And then what you want to do is press it in with your thumb. I can't remember. Am I supposed to put oil on it? I mean, these things are going to be sitting in oil. Press it in, and it doesn't have to go in all the way. Okay, because it'll get tightened in when all of that gets screwed in. It'll get tightened in. So that's 1. That's the speed we're going at. We're not messing around with this. Okay, very carefully. Number 2. Oh yeah, buddy is really in there and really well. Wiggle. Okay, yeah, wiggling technique. Okay, I think I got my hand now on it pretty good. Yeah, and out it comes. Okay, so this looks, I think this is another, can you guys see anything here? Where are you guys? There you are. Okay, I think this is another it's another short one. So this is where your view is. So let's just find another one. Okay, is it this guy? No, that's too long. Okay, not you. Not you. What about you? Okay. Yeah, that's the guy. That's my buddy. And he, again, doesn't have to go in all the way. I can see that these ones are worn here. And these have a finer edge. The new ones have a finer edge. So obviously these guys have had their day. Okay. Continuing on. Okay. Oh, I'm so nervous. Go. This is number 3. Yeah, it's hard to film and do this. Normally, what I would do is put on a podcast. Oh no! Oh no! Well, that guy's gone. He went into the drain pan. But that's okay, because it's okay because we did the 2 short ones. So that must have either been the long one or the medium one. So we'll do the next one if it's that'll be the process of elimination. Okay, so that guy just went flying. So here we go. Next. Okay, hopefully you guys can see something. The constant pressure seems to be good, and just making sure that you're keeping constant pressure, but you're leaning it against the other side, the other rubber side. You're not leaning it against the metal. I'm gonna guess that's the long one. How about, let's take bets. Who bets it's the long one? I bet it's the long one. Okay, went flying, but I can get it. Did not go into the drain pan, and it is. Yeah, I win the bet. It's the long one. Okay, so now in our new ones, it's empty. Let's find the long one. Are you the long one? No, you're not. But you know what? If you're not the long one, then you're the medium one. So you're going in here. Okay. And now the long one. Okay. Okay. So that's those seals. Let's just shoot them with some clean. Oh boy, that really feels good in the eyes. Next is this. Okay, so I've got the new one. New one's ready to go. Notice the orientation, small there, large, hole there. And oh, it's all really crumbly. Ugh. And out it comes. It looks okay here, it looks cleanish. Apparently that when it cracks, that's when you get those rough shifts, okay? So there, let's just put some, I feel like I should put something to seal it. Put some of that oil on here. It just seems like the smart thing to do. Okay, so we've replaced the all these seals. Hopefully we did it right. And let's get the Mechatronic, okay? Oh, don't drop it. Oh, don't drop it. Oh. And we have to make sure that we get the gear selector in the right place. I showed you guys that before, right? Okay, so let's see. And it is not. Okay, so no problem. It's really easy to slide this thing and then line up the gear selector. It looks lined up, looks nice, looks good. Okay. Okay, now get that bolt, man. And oh, don't wreck it, don't. And let's just put this one in. Please, this is awful. This is awful. Please catch. Please. Okay. It did a little bit. It did a little bit. Oh, my hands are just covered in gack. I hate it. I can't move this thing. Okay, this one is in just a little bit. Okay, I can't use the screwdriver because I'm too oily. Now we just put all of them in. This was tedious before, and there's oil dripping in my eyes. So, here we go. Insanely painful. Okay, I've got a preset. It's 8 Newton meters, whatever that is in foot pounds or inch pounds. You will have to figure out on your own, inch pound, foot pound, people. Okay, so here we go again with the sheet, just because I like to do things really slow. Okay, so 1 is this guy. 1. Okay, let's do him to 8 Newton meters. That's it. That's nothing. But, okay, number 2. Number 2, I'm looking at you, right there. Okay, well, that's 3. Okay. 4. Okay. 5 is there. 6. And I remember that that's 7. And that's 8. 8, 9. Oh. And last and certainly least, 10. Okay. Okay, Mechatronic unit is installed now. Okay, I'm just pulling that thing out again. And now we've got to get the sleeve in. So
A new sleeve. This is gonna, you guys won't be able to see this. It's up here. No, you can't even see my arm. It's up here. It goes in here in a hole. It's a tiny little space. Your car might be easier because you might not have the transfer case here, so you'll have a lot more space. It only goes in one way. You can see there's a little tab, so it can only slide one way. So you basically put it up there and rotate it, and it should go in. Now this is open, so make sure the tab, the beige tab, is down. Otherwise, you won't be able to put this thing in at all. Okay, and let's see. I got the sleeve, the plug sleeve in. This guy. You just have to go really slow. Just budget a lot of time, and then I used a long screwdriver to push the plug, the actual plug, out of the way so I could work this into the hole, and then you kind of rotate it with 2 fingers, and you'll feel, because it'll kind of catch and it'll go in. And then when that happens, then you lock it down with the tab. You push the tab in, so now the sleeve is in. And now the second hard part is getting the socket into here. Glory, glory, hallelujah. So yeah, I just take your time. So I would just wiggle that, you have to get that socket in the right orientation. And then you rotate. There's a ring that you rotate. It's really easy to see. It's got 1 tab sticking out. You can hook your finger around it and rotate it, and it slides in. So hopefully it's connected now. And so now what I have to do is put the new pan and filter on. And there's a special procedure for tightening all those bolts, and then refill the transmission. And so that's coming up. Okay, so now it's going to be time to install the filter. So this is the kind of box it comes in. It comes with technical information. Mine is this type, and it tells you how to tighten all the bolts. There's, 24 of them? Super tedious. So that's the order to do it in. So make sure that the old O-ring is not in the transmission. I already made sure. So you just look in there, make sure the old O-ring, there's an O-ring, so this pops off. I have to remove this anyway. So there, and there's an O-ring here. It's all really nice. And then we're just gonna I'm just gonna dab ATF fluid. It's just to lubricate it so it doesn't get rubbed off when you're installing it. There. It's ready to be put up there. So here we go. So let's grab the whole shebang, and very carefully, we don't want to damage anything, but we have to go from the back because of the transfer case. And I think we're lined up. And I just push, and there it is. And there it is. Okay, so what was one? One was like one of these. Let's just, I've already forgotten. It's just by hand. Just want to hold it in place. So you can hold this thing for me. Oh, God. Now, these were all the same length, right? I'm not, yeah, these are all the same length. Is that working at all? Yes, it is. Okay. Okay. I don't know why that was so frustrating, but that was extra special frustrating. Okay, so now I'm just going to loosely put in all the way around. There's 28 of them. You don't need to watch that. And then I'm going to just follow the tightening order. Okay, so I've loosely put on all these T40s. It's pretty awful. I had to go take a break because the blood went out of my arms. And now I'm going to tighten them according to this little sheet. Oh, and that's it. 24 is the last one. Okay, 24. Done with this. Now we go to the filling part. So we're gonna lower this and get all our stuff ready. So hang on. Okay, so I don't know if you can see my setup here, but okay, there's the little hooky, this thing. It's great that it's like a hook like this. It's fantastic. It's worth its weight in gold. So that goes into the fill. Okay. And now this bottle is too big to go under the car, so it runs from out. Okay, so it's not all the way under the car. And then I'm gonna flip the can. I have the this thing just standing by because what in all the reviews of this pump thing is that the fluid doesn't stop flowing. It just keeps going and going and going. So what we're going to be waiting for is for it to start to pour out here. Oh, and the thing that I need to stop it from pouring out is, of course, my new fill plug. Okay, so I think we're ready to start refilling. Okay, so I'm just going to start pumping here. Raise the pressure up, and off we go. Okay, so it's pouring out. Oh boy, I bet a lot of it is pouring out. So I'm gonna grab my fill plug and get it into oil everywhere. Drain plug would have been a good idea. Well, that wasted a lot of stuff. So now I'm just gonna put the fill plug in. So I'm just tightening it by hand. And now what we're gonna do is the second part of the procedure. Okay, so the second half of the fill procedure, oh, I should get going here, is using computers. Using computers. What you're going to need is a cable like this. And then, so there's a whole separate video is all this computer stuff. But essentially, if you're going to be doing this, you're going to need to be able to read the CPU for the transmission. And you're also going to have to reset the CPU for the transmission. You have to reset adaptations. Okay, so here we go. So we're going to open IMPA. So F4 is E60. Okay, here we go. Transmission, gearbox control module. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see anything. Program will be stopped. Uh-oh. Something might be buggered. Oh, I've got all kinds of warnings. Maybe that connector, I didn't connect the transmission up correctly. Oh, geez. Or I broke something. Okay, sit rep.
The car's not starting, and the computer's not reading that there even is a gearbox, and I've been able to diagnose what happened. So what's happened is, at least I know now, and you see how the sleeve is sticking out? That's its closed position, but it's supposed to be actually right up against the transmission. So dumbass did not get the sleeve enough in. I thought I did, but I didn't. And I'm thanking you because I looked back in the videos and I could see what the correct position is of that. And I see that that's not it. I should have checked. So what I'm going to have to do now is drain this transmission again. Undo these 24 Torx 40 bolts. Lower the pan. Pull out that little beige thing. Push in the sleeve more. And scream a little inside, die a little. And that should do it.
Okay, so I pushed that sleeve in more and connected the plug. That sleeve is awful. I got tricked because the old sleeve came out so easy. There's no room in there to push. So what I did is I used this. I like stuck this because I don't want to mar it, and then I used a big long screwdriver to push and push and push. So here is the thing. And what you want is you want both of these O-rings to go in, and basically this to be up against the body of the transmission. Didn't show you, but I put this thing back, the new one, and I've refilled the transmission cold. So I've done the cold fill, and I've put on the fill plug. So I filled it up cold. I filled it up until it started dripping out. And now what we're gonna do is the computer stuff in here. Okay, so this is on here, analog 1. So you go into the gearbox, go into status, and analog 1, there is gearbox temperature. So what we're aiming for here is about 100 degrees Fahrenheit, right? Yes. Okay, so now I'm gonna start the car. And what I'm gonna do is also, I'm gonna start the pump. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go through the gears. First gear. Second gear. It's probably not going to shift into these, but okay, it just goes back down. Okay. So we're just waiting for that transmission temperature to climb up to around 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so it's starting to be at almost 100. So I'm going to go under the car and start filling it up some more the rest of the way. So I'm undoing the fill. I just did it by hand. I didn't tighten it. I just did it by hand the first time. Okay. And here he comes. Okay, it's out. There we go. Grab my tube. And pump it. Yeah.
Good. It's flowing.
Okay, so it's been hot filled. It took exactly 7 liters, which is what I bought. I would buy 8 next time, because it was right at the very end. It was right at the very end that it was like it was already, air was going through, and phew, stuff started to pour out. I got a steady stream pouring out. Okay, so now what we have to do, it's been filled, it's been hot filled. Now what we got to do is down here and F6, activate, F3, reset adaptation values. The adaptation values have been cleared. So the transmission's reset. Okay, and you just have to have the ignition in the on position to do that, okay? Great. So now I just have to put back that front drive shaft, tighten the fill plug to 32 Newton meters, reinstall the drive shaft 20 Newton meters, and this awful job is done. A couple days of job. So, but hopefully you won't make the same mistakes I did. Okay, well, that wasn't the worst, hardest repair I've ever done. That was actually quite easy. Just a couple of pitfalls there with that sleeve. And just make sure you push that sleeve far enough. Otherwise, not the hardest thing. So what, the sit rep, it's been a few days. But the few times that I've driven it, there's a real difference. It shifts much nicer. The shifts are less sloppy. They're on time. It's hard to describe. When I first drove the car after resetting the adaptations, those first shifts were quick. Like they engaged really fast, but they were not hard. They were sort of like, I don't know, and then they smoothed out as time went on, and now they're quite smooth. I hope if you're planning on doing this repair, this video has helped you. If it has, if you can give me a thumbs up, that'd be great. So cheers, have a great one.